Welcome to Jijo Speaks. Thank you for joining in. Now, when we are going to a war, right, we need to know the enemy. In the same fashion, when we are going to take the cat, we need to understand the cat. And one of the areas that many people struggle is with this thing called reading comprehension. And in the cat there are 16 questions out of the 24 questions of the VRC section is reading comprehension. And reading comprehension does play a very crucial role of eventually making it to the cat. So in this video, what I'm going to do is do a deep dive into reading comprehension, help you understand what are the kind of passages that you can expect, what are the kind of questions that you can expect, and based on that, what could be the preparation strategy that is the most beneficial one. Now, before I start, I should talk about my course, which is VRC 1000, the most awesome course for the VRC section of the CAT. I have left a link in the description box. Check that out. I love to have you as my student. I hope that you will enjoy me as your teacher. So please join. In fact, this particular PPT that I'm using is actually from one of the lessons. Anyways, let's start. So the idea here is that we get our insights into the CAT reading comprehension. So when you look at reading comprehension, there are passages and there are questions. What makes a passage difficult? Now there are a lot of factors. One would be the length of the passage. If you have more stuff to read, obviously it's going to take more time. So that is length. And second is how dense the passage is. The longer sentences, complex sentences, compound sentences, complex compound sentences. The way in which the sentences are structured can make the passage difficult to read because you find it difficult to comprehend each of the sentences. The source may be a problem itself. For example, imagine a source to be an article or a source to be a journal. Let's take it as a news article. That's a source. Who is the author who has written the article? The audience of that particular author would be what? Aam Aadmi. Which means the author is writing this particular article for the consumption of general public. Therefore, the way in which the article is going to be written would be such. But imagine a journal, and the author of the journal would likely be a scholar who is writing for their peer. The peer group will also be journal. Be journal. What am I saying? Be scholars. So the way in which a journal entry is done, here the author is going to assume that the person reading it will have some sort of a knowledge. Therefore, it's going to be slightly more difficult. The source could be one. Second is where, for example, the articles are taken from our country. Let's say it's from Hindu or the Telegraph, which means there will be largely local issues. But what if the article is taken from somewhere else? I don't know, from the US, UK, I don't know. So we may not be that, comfortable with the topic. I'll not say comfortable is a bad word to use, not used to such kind of topic. So source is important. Topic is another factor. Some of the topic we are likely to comprehend better because we may have some experience in dealing with that topic. Maybe let's say that I've done sciences and somebody gives me a passage on natural sciences. It may be easier for me to comprehend. But then suddenly the passage is on philosophy, something that I have not been used to. Then even if let's say the length is manageable, it is density is still less, the source is manageable. But if the topic is something that I don't understand, then that can get into a trouble. A combination of this is going to create some sort of a complexity when it comes to the passage. When it comes to the question, the type of questions, each question will want you to interpret the information in very different manner. For example, there could be questions which are global questions, which could be the main idea question. There could be questions which are sort of local question or a fact-based question. There could be all that inference-based question. I'm going to call it interpretation question, asking us what the author thinks, what the author will agree, disagree, which of the following, if true, will strengthen the argument. So if you have more number of interpretation question, my comprehension should be better. I cannot be just skimming the passage and answering the question. I really need to understand the text, the complexity of the question, how the question is framed, and also how the options are created. So let's dive deep into this. I've taken CAT 2020, 2021 and 2022 to get an understanding and take that to our CAT 2023. Just to deal with this density, how dense the passage is, uh, this, there are a lot of this readability formula. A lot of formulas exist. Flesh grade level, Gunning Fox index, smog index. There are a lot of formula which uses some sort of a quantitative way in which to identify how dense the passage is. For example, the flesh grade level uses a formula which takes into consideration total number of words in a sentence, total syllables in each of the word on an average. If there are more number of words in a sentence is long. So it comes out with a number. So it comes out with a number which starts from 1 till goes on till 18, 20, 20, such number it gives. So you have something like 13 is considered to be dense. Anything more than 13 is generally considered to be dense. Something like 10, 9, 8, etc. is easier to comprehend. Right? But mind you, this is not the only factor. There are other factors. Maybe this does not consider the words that are used, the vocabulary that is used. That will be another level of complexity that while reading. But I'm going to just use this one of these. Okay, let's start with the length. I've looked at CAT 2020 slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, 2021 slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, 2022 slot 1, slot 2, slot 3, passage first, second, third, fourth. I've just put this in ascending order. So if you look at this, generally what do you see? What are the number that you see? You see that's about what? 493, 495, 505, 500, 500. The highest that has gone to 541 and 517, 500, 497. So essentially you're going to read passages which are about 500 words. And in CAT 2023 as well, we can easily, safely say that if you look at the trend, very, very safely say that you will be given a passage which is 500 words. Roughly around that particular range. Now 500 word is manageable. I mean, if I look at normal reading speed, which could be 200 words per minute, but even then if I'm taking reading little slow, 150 words per minute, I should be able to read this passage in what? 3.5 minutes, unless and until the passage is very dense and the topic is difficult, maybe 5 minutes. That's probably the highest. But there might be some of you will take 10 minutes to read because you read one line twice, thrice. You'll read a paragraph thrice. First time you read very fast, then you say, what am I reading? So if you don't do all that, if you read it very sensibly, you should be able to deal this. No problem. This is so far so good. Let's look at the density. How dense it is. I've used this grade. Flesh grade level. Imagine anything about 13 is slightly dense. We can see a lot of stuff which is about 13. There is 18.8, 20.8. 13, lot of 13s. So some is manageable, 12 is manageable, some are easier to comprehend. Obviously the question setter is not basically deciding to pick the passage based on how dense it is. They just pick it. So what you get is you should be ready to read complex sentences. Complex sentence structure, which has got a lot of modifiers. A sentence has got what? Subject, verb, object or its complement, right? So that is the basic construct of a sentence. But then there could be modifiers, adjectives, adverbs, phrases, and all that added into a very long sentence. You should be able to learn how to read sentences. Yeah. Source. I told you about article. There could be a book. There could be journals. Look at this. CAT 2020 slot 1 article, couple from book, 1 from journal, article, book, journal, article, book, 3 from article, 1 from a book, couple from article, couple from book, 3 articles, 1 journal, 1 article, 2 book, 1 journal, 1 article, 3 books, and 1 article and 2 books and a journal. Which means the sources could be anything. Obviously, when you read the passage, you will not have an idea where it is picked from. But this is what they do. And what kind of source specifically? Don't worry, I've done the work for you. I've done it for you. It's taken some time for me, but it's for you. Let's look at articles. The Atlantic, The Spectator, The Guardian, New York Times, Aeon Essays. And then you have New York Times again, Smithsonian Magazine, Financial Times, The New Scientist, Scientific American, Wall Street Journal, one from Nepali Times. None of the, I can't see Hindu. Where is Indian Express? Where is Times of India? Oh, these are okay. All right, okay. Books. Now look at this: Encyclopedia of Emotions, Encyclopedia of Undead, Encyclopedia of Human Geography, Handbook of Philosophy of Social Sciences. There is some more encyclopedia. Blackwell Encyclopedia of Sociology. Encyclopedias. There are books: Anarchism by Colin Ward, On Writing by Stephen King, The Sacred Gaze by Dave Morgan, Humankind: A Hopeful History by Dystopia, Scandalous Knowledge by Barbara Smith, Empire and Nation, Partha Strategy, Millionaire for Music, Gary Tomlinson, Out of Control by Kevin Kelly, The Penguin History of India by Romila Thapar. Which of these books have you read? But we have not read these books. What? Are you someone to say, I have this wonderful book with me. Oh, क्या मस्त book है. What is the book? Encyclopedia of Human Geography. No. Journals pick from anywhere and everywhere. So what is essentially happening? What is going to happen in 2023? We are sure is 500 words. It is likely going to be dense. The sources could be anything. If it is an article, likely going to be this from anywhere. So I should be willing to read or handle passages given to me from any place in this world except from India. But there are still something from India. Okay, some at least something from India. Oh, this one, Empire and Nation, also Indian context. Couple of them. Topics. So I've basically categorized topic in humanities, social science, and natural sciences. Within that, there is humanities, law, languages, philosophy, religion, mythology, international relations, gender studies, all these things, social science, anthropology, economics, politics, psychology, social history. Some people say history should be here. History is humanities. Okay, debate. I'm not getting into all that. Natural sciences could be anything. We'll just put humanities, social sciences, and natural sciences. Voila, here it goes. All colors. Different colors. They're different. Anything. Let's get into specific topics. There should be some method to this, no? Some basic topic, cat's favorite topics. Anarchism. Text tells his money, writing. Cat loves some animals. Elephant seals, dialects. Cuttlefish, octopuses. But then you have got Stoicism, Anarchism, Sociology of Crime, Logic of Bios, Orientalism, Automation, Music, Social Institution, Engineering Problem, Critical Theory, Undead, Concept of Copies, Measuring Time, Language, Nanorobots, Growth of Conscious Truth, Nationalism, Multilingualism, Problem of Knowledge, Maya, China, Dystopia, Political Philosophy, Human Geography, Human Contact, Economic Crisis, Piracy, Aggression, Visual Culture, Diversity, anything. So what is cat telling you? I will give you 500 words passage. From anywhere on any topic, you be ready. Now I must tell you this. You don't need prior knowledge to handle reading comprehension. You don't need. Yes, you will read as much as you can during your preparation. You will expose yourself to diverse sort of topic which is important, which is critical, so that you can gain the skills to ensure that anything that is thrown at you, you'll be able to comprehend. But be ready that in 2023 you'll open an RC passage, you'll go, oh, I'm reading this for the first time. You should be ready to comprehend anything that is given to you. And let me tell you again, you don't need prior knowledge on anything to handle the cat questions. Let's move on to the questions. Global questions. Some people call it main idea questions or whatever. So I'm just call it global. Which of the following best describe what the passage is about? Which of the following statement best reflect the main argument of the fourth paragraph of the passage? Which of the following statement best represent the essence of the passage? Which of the following set of key best serves as a keyword to the passage? All these type of questions, which is like, you read the passage now. Now tell me what the author said. You just read it. Tell me what the author said. Maybe let's imagine there's a passage has got 4 paragraphs. In paragraph number 1, author talks about a particular view, some view. Let's call it view X. Second paragraph, author said view X is wrong. Third paragraph, author gives reason number 1 as to why view X is wrong. Fourth paragraph, author gives reason 2 as to why view X is wrong. Now we're asking what is the main point of this particular, why did the author write this particular passage? Author wrote this to tell us that the view X is wrong. That is the main idea. Maybe this could be a science passage which has got an old view. There's a new study, new finding, and there's a new view. Okay, what is the main idea of this particular passage? Yeah, this new view based on the new study. So you should know the structure and to answer these kind of questions. Then there are these local questions, and people tend to call it fact based. I think that's what you would have heard. In the first paragraph, what are the two characterizations that can be seen as overlapping but not congruent? Which of the following statement is not true about the camouflage ability of cephalopods? All the following reasons octopus is being missing except that day. So stuff is written in this particular passage. Can you find this information about the passage? Then interpretation question. People tend to call this inference based. There are a lot of different variations. One is I'm going to pick a sentence from the passage and tell me, explain the sentence to me. This kind of picking up one sentence of the passage and asking you to explain is like a cat's favorite for the past, I don't know, 3 years. Though if we can infer that we can infer that the author would approve of a more evolved engineering pedagogy that includes all of the following except. Based on what you read, can you go one step forward? Which of the following statement would be an accurate inference for the example from the example of Marcus Aurelius? First of all, don't worry about inference. Inference would be essentially things that are true. But then you need to, so these are kind of questions. If you look at the interpretation question, you say that I cannot be just skimming the passage and then try and answer these questions. I really need to comprehend. The interpretation question forces you to really comprehend the information, understand the information that is given to me. 500 word passage, dense, any source, any topic, interpretation. Let's see what the cat did in the last 3 years. Mind you, in CAT 2020 there were 18 questions of reading comprehension, 4 passages. 2 passages had 5 questions and 2 passages had 4 questions. In 2021 and 2022 it was 4 passages with 4 questions. That's why you can see the 2 extra here. This is interpretation. Check it out. Oh my God. Oh, what is this? The global question is, yeah, there are few of them here and there. Maybe CAT 2021 slot 3 is a different story. Majority are, you can see a lot of interpretation questions. What is CAT asking you? Interpret it for me. Tell me what the author is thinking. Okay, I'm going to give a new evidence. Which of the following, if true, will weaken the argument? Which of the following, if true, will strengthen the argument? Tell me all the inference that can be drawn. Tell me the inference that is actually wrong. So, what can you expect in 2023? Number 1, approximately 500 words. Number 2, dense passages. Number 3, any source. It could be from article, it could be from a book, it could be from a journal entry. Article, largely outside India, abroad. It can be book, it can be journal, it could be encyclopedia, it could be anything. Now, what topic can you expect? You can expect anything. Humanities, social sciences, natural sciences. Which means what the cat is telling you is, I'm going to give you something to read. You be ready. And what is our attitude? Bring it on. I'll be ready to handle anything that you give me. I'm going to read and comprehend and understand the passage on a topic that I've never read before. And then after that, a significant chunk of the questions that you can expect in the cat, a majority of the questions that you can expect in the cat will be based on interpretation or inference. So when you are preparing for the cat, forget about this whole thing about reading speed. Ignore it. Just if I read, reading speed means I cannot just read stuff fast. Focus on reading better to help in what? In comprehension, which will then help in reading with the questions. That is what you should do. So be ready. So one of the activities that you must do is start reading diverse sources. Some of the source could be A1 essays. It has got a lot of free essays, about 2000 words on multiple topics. This site itself gives you a lot of opportunity to read. The another site, JSTOR Daily. Journal Storage is the journal. JSTOR Daily has got a lot of articles. You could probably read even Smithsonian Magazine. But at least start reading stuff. And don't be afraid of things that you don't know. Because whatever be the question, even if it's interpretation based question, the cat does not require you to have prior knowledge of anything. Focus on reading and don't be afraid. Now we know what the cat is. Let me know what kind of topic you want me to do. I'll do that. Let me know. And also please like, subscribe. Like I've not put videos last year. Kind of chilled. But I thought that this year I'll get back and start working on my channel. I want to get it to 50,000. I don't know when. I don't know what is the time. So subscribe. Yeah, please. And give me some love. See you. See you in the next video. Bye bye.